Hi, I'm retired professional triathlete TJ Tollakson, CEO of Dimond Bikes, right here in Des Moines, Iowa. And today we are going to talk about how to fuel for a 70.3 race. I just got done doing my last professional race at the Des Moines 70.3 here. My bike is here. I'm going to talk about how to properly fuel for this. We have some basics to cover first about sports nutrition. When I say sports drink, I'm referring to an endurance sports drink with a high carbohydrate, high sodium intake. I'm not talking about your regular Gatorade. Regular Gatorade will work if you add sodium to it to get to what we're looking for. But I'm talking about Power Bar Perform, Base Hydro, Gatorade Endurance, Infinite. There are several options when I talk about sports drinks. Secondly, when I'm talking about grams of carbohydrate, you have to remember that 4 calories are in every gram of carbohydrate. Also 4 calories in every gram of protein, 9 in every gram of fat. Not super important for this video because we're gonna basically fuel with just carbohydrate and sodium. So, race morning is probably the best thing to start talking about your day of fuel. For a half Ironman, I am awake eating my breakfast 3 hours before race. And this whole nutrition plan, everything that I'm going to talk to you about, was actually implemented and devised by my coach, Jesse Kropelnicki from QT2. We did a bunch of nutrition testing and worked on my sodium levels, my sweat rate, as well as my calorie burn per hour.
Look, it's all a bit technical.
If you're an amateur or a professional, if you're slow or you're fast, doesn't matter. You should probably be starting your breakfast fuel 3 hours before the start of your race. Now, what does that breakfast look like? Well, simple carbohydrates. And so you can have your mix of several different things. But my breakfast on race day includes the following: half of a bagel, a banana, a decent amount of applesauce in prepackaged, those little kid applesauce things. Go-Go Squeeze, I think is what they're called. But it's just applesauce, unsweetened applesauce. And why do I eat these things and why do I eat them 3 hours before? I'm looking for things that are really easy on your stomach. The last thing you want is stomach distress. You also want to eat that early because you want to try to flush everything through your system before you race, right? So, now that we have breakfast out of the way, one important thing that I just talked about, that has 0 caffeine yet. Yes, that means if the race starts at 6:30 in the morning, I am getting up at 3:30 in the morning to eat breakfast. And yes, you heard that right, 0 caffeine so far.
Oh, this is heavy.
Okay, so when does the caffeine come? 30 minutes prior to the race, I will have 1 gel. Now, I spent most of my career sponsored by Power Bar. It's still my preferred gel to use. I love the taste of it, love the flavor. So 1 Power Bar Gel Blast, or you can use, they have a hydro gel now, which I really like. They have a mojito flavored one with caffeine in it, so it's really nice to get that caffeine. But 30 minutes before, I'm drinking 8 ounces of fluid and 1 gel. So 1 gel is 27 grams of carbohydrates, and a boom, big 200 milligrams of sodium. That's the other thing I didn't talk about. For breakfast, gotta fast forward, scratch that, rewind that.
Strike that, reverse it.
I gotta rewind to breakfast. I drink a bottle of sports drink with breakfast. That's 600 milligrams of sodium just in the sports drink. When I say a bottle, I'm talking about a 24-ounce bottle, standard bike bottle, the large bike bottle that you're talking about. And so my total breakfast, I'm getting about 700 milligrams of sodium and 150 grams of carbohydrates. Take that times 4, you're looking at 600 calories for breakfast and 700 grams of sodium. 30 minutes before the race, I'm smashing that gel, 8 ounces of water or a hydrogel, with a little bit of water. 15 minutes before I get my second shot of caffeine, I'm doing another gel and another 8 ounces of water. That's my caffeine. Why are we waiting that long to have caffeine in the morning, especially if we're getting up so early? You want to try to maximize the impact of the caffeine during the race. And to do that, you need to take the caffeine as close to your race start as possible. You want to make sure that you practice all this nutrition and training before you actually get to the race. So that's the most important thing about developing a fueling plan. You got to practice or it's not going to work. So you need to have a simulation day where you practice doing your half Ironman triathlon. And during that day, you should walk through, and it should be a dress rehearsal. You should do all these nutrition steps as they're planned out. You should also plan all this out in a spreadsheet. You saw me grab this sheet before, but I've got this awesome spreadsheet that my coach prepared for me that details everything that I do. I save it as a PDF on my phone. I can pull it up any day, any time of the day, look at this and say I know exactly what to do. I put this in my pre-race binder. I know exactly what I'm supposed to eat every time before a race, and the best thing is I do the same thing every time because I know it works, and this is how you get results.
It works.
That being said, the race starts, gun goes off, you've had a couple shots of caffeine, you get done with the swim. Right away, you're done with the swim, and so for someone like me, it's around a 30-minute swim. So as I'm getting on my bike is the next shot of gel, and then through the first 30 minutes on the bike, I'm going to consume an entire bottle of sports drink. Now it's really important when I start this half Ironman, I'm gonna start this race, and if it's hot like Des Moines was here, I'm gonna have 3 bottles on me. I'm gonna have one with a straw right here, 1 bottle for refill in the front, and 1 bottle right here behind me. So I'm gonna start with 3 bottles. 4 bottles for a 2-hour bike split. That means I only need 1 handoff during the race. And if I really wanted to, I was worried about the handoffs, I would just double load the bottles on the back. You've heard me talk before, I don't mount a bottle on my frame because aerodynamically that's really slow. So every 30 minutes on the bike, I'm taking 1 bottle of sports drink, and then at the 30-minute mark, I'm taking 1 gel. Now, I have this nifty lunchbox in my frame, and I like to use these gel flasks. It's really cool, I can fit 2 full gel flasks in this, but it's a good swig of gel. Put it in there, pop it down, let it rip.
Come on, let it rip.
Now during a half Ironman, every gel that I take during the race is going to be caffeinated. Are there other ways to do this besides gel? Yeah, certainly. But again, my target at the end of this race, I'm going to consume right around 400 calories an hour. Now, again, this was personalized for me, for my energy expenditure, the size of athlete that I am. But most people will be between that 300 to 400 calories per hour. Your body can't actually absorb more than about 400. There's some extreme cases where some people can. But you're probably gonna find yourself in that range of what you need for calories. And then the best thing that you can do, again, is go out and practice this nutrition every day. Now, a lot of you might think this is easy. Trust me, drinking a bottle of sports drink every 30 minutes while you exercise is not easy, okay? But this is a very important rule about this. Unless you urinate 1 time on the bike in an Ironman 70.3, AKA half Ironman, you will not run to your potential. So yes, you must hydrate so well that you urinate at least 1 time if you want to run to your potential.
It's a fact.
So once the bike's finished, you get on the run. Typically I will have 1, maybe 2 gels during the run, and I'll space those a little bit further apart, probably about 40 minutes. The reason I space those a little bit further is because I've done a good job of front loading this nutrition. And then every aid station, I'm gonna try to grab and drink about 4 ounces of sports drinks, probably Gatorade Endurance, which is on the course right now. But I'm gonna try to drink that. So most of the time that means I'm taking 2 cups and throwing them in my mouth as quickly as possible. The other very important fueling advice is if it is hot, 1, you need to stay in front of your hydration. Getting behind your hydration will be disastrous on your run. So try to front load your hydration as best as possible. Stay diligent with your timer. make sure you're finishing all those bottles, and you'll know you're doing the right thing if you urinate at least one time on the bike. Those are my tips for you to fuel with your half Ironman. You can see my spreadsheet here. I highly recommend everyone does this. Just to give you the summary again, my half Iron race nutrition is 362 grams of carbohydrates, which is 94 per hour. And then sodium, man, those gels with 200 milligrams of sodium are huge bombs. That's helping me get to a total of 4,130 grams of sodium for the race at a little over 1 gram of sodium per hour. As you can see, I'm a heavy sweater and a very salt heavy sweater, so I have a high sodium intake. This is best worked out with you and a coach. If you don't have one, you're looking for a great fueling plan, check out QT2, and they can help design a custom fueling plan for you, just like Coach Jesse Kropelnicki did for me right here with his core diet plan. Thanks for tuning in. Practice that fueling, nail your race.